Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and in this video we are going to see array implementation of queue. So let's start. So here I have considered an array of size 5 with index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the front value and rear value is -1. So this is one condition where we can check if the queue is empty or not. So let's start with the insertion process. Here we are inserting the element 5. And here both front and rear value will be incremented and 5 will be placed at index 0. So one thing to notice here that whenever we are inserting an element in a empty queue, both the variable should be incremented. But in other cases, whenever we do an insertion, only rear value will be incremented, and whenever we will delete an element, only front value will be incremented. So here in the second adjacent picture, we are inserting the element 10. And now only rear value will be incremented and then it will be placed at index 1. So now front is 0, that means it is pointing to the first element or the 0 index of the array, and the rear is pointing to the index 1 of the array. And here we are inserting the element 15, and here we will increment the rear value to 2 and 15 will be placed at the 2 index of the array. Now whenever we will perform a deletion operation, as I said that the deletion will take place from the front end and the insertion will take place at the rear end. So front is now pointing to 0 index and rear is pointing to the 2 index. So front is pointing to 0, that means 5 will be deleted. So here 5 will be deleted and front will be incremented to 1. Now the front value has changed. Now it is pointing to the index 1. Now when we again perform a delete operation, the front value will become 2, as previously it was pointing to the index 1, and 10 will be deleted and the front value will be incremented. And here again, after performing the deletion operation, as the front is pointing to the value 15, which is the 2 index of the array, 15 will be deleted and front value will be incremented. So here in this scenario, as you can see, this is an empty queue where front value is greater than 2. That means we also have one more condition to check if the queue is empty or not. Here if front equal to rear plus 1, that means we have an empty queue. So we have got 2 conditions to check if the queue is empty or not. Okay. So next we are inserting the element 20. So we will increment the rear value, we will insert the value 20 in the array or queue, and here we are inserting the element 25. So we will increment the rear value and we will simply insert the value at index 4. Again here we are performing the delete operation, as the front in the previous picture was pointing to the index 3rd, so it will be deleted. And now we have only one element in the queue. Again we are performing a delete operation here. So front value will be incremented and the value pointed by front will be deleted. So as you have understood that whenever we are deleting an element, we are incrementing the variable front, and whenever we are inserting an element, we are incrementing the variable rear. And in an empty queue, whenever we are inserting an first element, then we will be incrementing both the variables. So these are few things to notice. Let's dive into the code. Here we have 4 methods written. So this one more thing I need to mention, that these codes are written in C code, so don't go for the syntaxes. I don't follow it strictly. Take it as a pseudo code for understanding purpose. Okay, so here we have written 4 methods: the insert method, delete method, full method, is full method, or is empty method. So let me first explain the full method. So this is the condition to check if the queue is full or not. Simply if the rear equal to max -1, then we will return 1 and else return 0. What is max? Max is the size of the array or the queue you have considered. So in this place, as I have considered an array of size 5, that means and queue of size 5, then as we know, for array the index starts with 0, so it will have the 4 as a last index. That's why if the value of max equal to 5, then max minus 1 means 5 minus 1, 4 will be the last index. That's why I'm checking if the real value is 4, then we will return 1, or else return 0. So this is one condition to check if the queue is full or not. And for checking if the queue is empty or not, as I mentioned, that simply we can check if front is -1. Front will be -1 only when the queue is empty, which is initially when there is no element. So this is one condition to check if the queue is empty or not, and the other condition is if front equal to rear plus 1, which was this condition, this where front becomes 3 and rear becomes 2. So this was one more condition to check if the queue is empty or not. So we have two conditions to check if the queue is empty or not. So let's see the insert method. Here I have defined a insert method where we are taking an parameter item which we want to insert, and before inserting we will first checking if the queue is full or not. So it will simply call the full function and check if the queue is full or not. If we get the value 1, that means the queue is full. Then we will simply print the queue overflow message to the user. And if the front is equal to -1, if the queue is not full, then we will go to the next if condition. This is checking if front is equal to -1. As I said in the previous slide, that whenever we are inserting the first element, we need to increment both the values, front and rear. So here if front is equal to -1, that means we have an empty queue and we are inserting the element for the first time in the queue. That means we need to make front value as 0 and rear value will be incremented after that, and then we will simply insert the element at that position. So this is the insertion method, and now we will see the delete method. Here we have declared an item variable which will simply return the item which we will delete to the user. So first we will check if the queue is empty or not. If it is empty, we will simply print the queue underflow to the user, and this if condition is internally calling the isEmpty method, which will return true, which will return 1 in case of true, or false in case of false, or 0 in case of false. So here if the queue is not empty, we are simply assigning the value at the front to the item variable, and we are incrementing the front value, and we are simply returning the item. So let me show you from here. Suppose this condition. So here in this picture the front value is equal to 1, so the element 10 will be deleted. So here queue array, suppose this is an queue name of what we have declared in our program. So front will become 1, so this element will get stored here, and front will be incremented to 2 like this, and we will simply return the item which we have stored. So this is the delete method for queue. So I hope you have understood the queue and its code. So thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please like the video, and if you have any suggestion, please comment, and also share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching.